Hi everybody, this is Frank Ryle of Cool Million. You are listening to Sound Fusing Radio with DJ Gloss.
Hello?
Hello there, is that Frank Ryle?
Yeah, it is.
Hello Frank, it's DJ Gloss from Sound Fusion Radio. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing? I'm fine, thank you.
Good. Are you okay? Have we caught you at a good moment?
Yeah. I was expecting you to call, so it's perfect.
Excellent. That's good. So, how's the weather there in Denmark at the moment?
Oh, the weather here is cloudy, rainy, and not so summerly as you would like it to be.
Do you know what, Frank? It sounds just like London.
I could imagine it's pretty much the same.
Pretty much the same.
They promised us some good weather tomorrow, so fingers crossed for that one.
Yeah, let's hope they keep their promises, eh? The weather people are not so good at those promises.
No, they're not.
There we go. Okay, do you mind if I start asking you a few questions around your career in yourself and also with Cool Million? Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Lovely. Okay, I wanted to ask you firstly about the Soul Portal Music page, which sort of is your entry point, if you like, in the record books on the music scene. I wondered if you could tell us a little bit more about that.
So it happened many years ago. A friend of mine who were also into music asked if I would be interested in doing this website where we would review soul music in all kinds of soul music.
Yeah.
And I said yes, and then we just started out very simple. Did a few reviews, and then I got the taste for it, and I wanted to expand it a little, and then we started to do interviews, and we hooked up with record companies here in Denmark who were sending us CDs for reviews and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that was basically it, and from that led me to into the music business. Yeah.
Okay. So where did you first meet up with Rob Hart then?
It was because of the Soul Portal website.
Yes.
I did a review on one of his albums he did for a guy called Connor McCollum some years ago, and I gave it a fairly good review. And he replied and said thank you, and really appreciate what you're saying about this music and so on.
Yeah,
that was it. Then another friend of mine asked me if I could help him with a track he had done. He wanted a house remix, yeah. So he asked me if I could help him, if I had any ideas and stuff like that.
Yes.
And I said, yes, I would like to help you. And we went to his studio, and we were just playing around with this music. And at that point, I didn't know anything about music production or anything. And I saw, okay, this is maybe what I've been looking for many years. It was quite interesting.
Yes, yeah.
So I asked him at one point if do you think we could do some music? Some soulful music, and he said, "Yeah, let's try it." And that led us to the very first Cool Million track, which was "Naughty Girl."
Yeah, Leni Ribau.
Exactly, that was Leni Ribau, and yes. we found her by accident, or what you say. But we tried before she came on. We had the different singers. And they didn't quite hit it. And when we heard Lena's take on our track, we just felt that it was so unique and so different we wanted her. So and then I through Soul Portal I had contacts to Ralph G at Expansion Records.
Yeah.
And I presented him to the track, and I said, "Do you think you could release it on something and he said that he would, and he released it on
Soul Togetherness.
on the well-known Soul Togetherness compilation. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was how it all started for me. And at some point we wanted to have a remix, and because of the story with Rob Hart, I thought that I'm going to ask him if he wants to do it.
Yeah.
And he said yes. Next thing is that Jesper, who was the original other member of Cool Million, he decided to split. He wanted to do something else music-wise.
Yes.
So I was standing a bit alone, and I knew, because I don't have the musical background, that I needed someone who understands the music parts and how you arrange vocals and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow.
And then I turned again to Rob and asked him, "Do you want to be a part of Cool Million?" And he said yes. He would like to be part of Cool Million. So the rest is basically history. And then we just took off from there.
Wow, and boy, did you take off. I mean, it's easy to say you haven't worked with, really. And, is there a methodology behind that? Is that just to create a different vocal sound around you? Or, perhaps you could tell us a little more.
Yeah, there was. It's mainly because that personally I found that a lot of artist albums were a little bit boring after a while, because you had the same vocal all through 12 or 13 tracks, or how many they decide to do. And I really like the compilation thing, like what Rob T is doing on his Soul Togetherness.
Yes,
it's quality music from first track to the very last track, and I wanted to try to create that feeling, but with the same kind of music.
Yes.
But just with different vocalists. So that is really the idea behind the Cool Million setup also, that we want to do our music but with different vocalists.
And I think it works extremely well. Do you have a particular sort of creation process for your tunes, Frank, at all?
It's normally it works like that. We do a simple backtrack, basically drums, maybe a guitar, bass line, a little keyboard with some different chords in it, and then we just present it to different artists, and they can then decide if they feel anything for this particular track or don't. If they feel something for it, we let them write to that track, and if they don't, we try to send them something else.
Wow!
And then
sorry.
So it's also important for us that the artists, the singers we use, they feel connected with the music. We don't just want to send them a finished track and say, please sing this, because we want them to bring what they can, and that is to sing their own lyrics. So I think that works better than instead of I'm writing the lyrics as well and say, hey, you have to sing this.
Yes, I get you. So it kind of, it grows the track organically with the artist, doesn't it, really, and allows them their own feel, which is, I think, comes out beautifully.
Yeah, because then when we have their vocals, we can put everything together, and then we can twist and turn and say, okay, this should be like this, and it's like puzzle. You can put things in or take something out, and if I put something in a track and we get the vocals, we can decide, no, it's not working, let's try something else. And so it's the real creation starts when we have the vocalists take.
Yeah.
So that's how it works.
Yeah, that sounds great to me. Well, apart from having such a wide variety of vocalists, male and female, on your tracks. I mean, people like Laura Jackson, great sounding people. People like Natasha Watts, Bashira, Gary Paul. I mean, serious vocalists,
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. But there is a saying, I don't know if you're aware of it, but there's a saying amongst Sound Fusion Radio listeners, okay, and the saying goes something like this, Frank, that Cool Million never produce anything other than quality music, i.e. there's no such thing as a bad Cool Million track. You just don't do it. So what do you think of that?
I think if that's the truth, I think it's amazing.
Well, that's what they say. Yeah.
I couldn't ask for more. It's like we are super happy if people react like that to our music. And what can I say? I'm respect. we, as I said before, we try our best, and the reaction we get is also positive, and that makes us just want to do more and do better and keep going. Always try to create that music that a lot of people still love. So it's. Yeah.
Well, there's a huge following.
I'm when you're saying that, I'm just like, oh, what can I say? It's like I'm overwhelmed. Well,
it is absolutely true. And, our listeners just love you to bits. And, I could almost play an entire show of Cool Million, and you know what? Not one of our listeners would say a word. They would love it. So what is your number one track, Frank?
My number one track is Back for More, featuring Eugene Wilde.
Wonderful.
Absolutely.
What a track.
No doubt about it.
Okay.
It was... when I first heard the vocals from Eugene, I was just blown away. I just like, yes, this cannot be better. So we were really excited.
Okay.
What else do we have? Can't even remember all my.
I was just going to ask you a little bit more about sort of the production of it, and the recording of it, and the ideas behind it would be lovely if we could.
Yeah, but basically, it's just like I said before. The music was made by Rob and I, and the lyrics was written by Eugene Wilde, and he's such a talented songwriter. I didn't really knew that. I just liked his voice a lot, and but he's really good and creating great songs, in my opinion, and that's why it's pretty catchy with the Back for More title and the way he does it. So it's just and even it's like it was made 3 years ago, and it still really sounds fresh and soulful and funky, and
it's
just a great track.
It's a brilliant track. I absolutely love it. And do you know what? For a DJ, it's one of those tracks that's a dance floor guarantee. If you drop that track, that your dance floor is not going to empty. It's going to fill up. It just does.
And that's because of the hook line, and that you have the people waving their hands and singing, and it's just it works. I've seen it a couple of times, and I know when we play it live, we always end up, that's the last song in our sets, and just it works. So
it's a wonderful tune. It's a wonderful tune. And here is that wonderful tune, number one selection from Frank Ryle. Back for More, Cool Million. Never made a bad tune, ever.
Take you on a trip. world for everyone to see. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. I like your style, you classy, so funny, the one that I would like to spend my life with. But I got to leave tomorrow, but only temporary. So there's one thing you should know. I'll be back for more. I'll be back, I'll be back, back for more. I'll be back, I'll be back, back for more. I'll be back, I'll be back, back for more. I'll be back, I'll be back. I wish I could put you in my bag and take you away. Come and go with me, yeah. I know that circumstances sometimes can't get all in the way, but that's okay, that's okay. I like your style, you classy, so funny, the one that I would like to spend my life with. But I got to leave tomorrow, but only temporary. So there's one thing you should know. I'll be back for more. I'll be back, I'll be back, back for more. I'll be back, I'll be back, back for more. I'll be back, I'll be back, back for more. I'll be back, I'll be back. Check it out. Hey, get your hands up if you know it. Exactly what I'm talking about. If you ever been in love before, love before, love before. Ladies, let me hear you say yeah. Clap your hands if you know what I mean. Fellas, join in. Clap your hands to the music. Make some noise. Let's just do it. Everybody all around the world. Clap your hands to the music. Make some noise. Just do it. Everybody all around the world. Hey, around the world. Sing. Oh, 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 oh. Back for more. Oh, 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 oh. Everybody sing. Oh, 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 oh. Yeah, yeah. Oh, 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 oh. Back for more. Hey, I won't let you get away. Back for more. Next time I'll be back to stay. I don't know what I would do without you. Us been together is so overdue. I'll be back for more. Hey, I'll be back, I'll be back, back for more. I'll be back, I'll be back, back for more. I'll be back, I'll be back, back for more. I'll be back, I'll be back for more. I'll be back, I'll be back, back for more. I'll be back, I'll be back, back for more.
Wonderful sound of Cool Million.
I'll be back, I'll be back, back for more.
And Frank Ryle's favourite own works tune,
I'll be back for more.
the amazing Back for More with the vocals from Eugene. Fantastic.
Another track would be "Cool to Make a Million" by Leroy Burgess. It's a great track. It's like a signature track for Cool Million, and we were just happy that we were able to hook up with a guy like Leroy. He's
a lovely
amazing.
Man. He is. He's great. You know, so much experience as well. And yeah, that is an awesome tune. That, and like you say, a real banner for Cool Million with the title and the feel. Wonderful.
So it was just, we were just happy to receive that, and thankful that he wanted to work with us.
That was,
so
that was great. Did you hook up with Leroy on that one, or is that one that you put together a sort of remotely? Or?
No, we did. We also it's done by email and stuff like that. He hears our music and he goes into his studio and do do the vocals and send them back to us, and that's how we work the most times. It's not that we don't want to go into the studio with an artist, but it just complicates things and it makes it expensive.
Agreed. Yeah, definitely.
And that's how it is today in music business, that you really have to think about cost all the time, because you will not recoup the money because of the illegal downloading and stuff, file sharing, and
yeah. I mean,
people are not buying music like they used to. It's different now because of the digital format.
But
that's how it is.
It is.
We don't complain. We just say that's how it is. So the thing about going to a studio with a full band and stuff like that, it's only for the few.
Yes, I understand. Yeah. And here is that track, "Cool to Make a Million," featuring Leroy Burgess and the wonderful Cool Million.
Be so cool to make a million.
called To Make a Million. Vocals from Leroy Burgess, no mistaking that. The Burgess touch. In Cool Million. Well, okay, we're going to go back to the interview with Frank Ryle from Cool Million. Right now. So 4 albums down. So Going Out Tonight, Back for More, 3, and then you got the remixes one with Tom Moulton. You know, they all progressive in the way that they move on, but they've all got that classic Cool Million sound. You know, where does that come from? Do you use certain instruments, or is there a certain method that you use to make that classic Cool Million sound?
We don't use a certain instrument or anything. We use different kind of instruments, and we also do use bass players and guitar players and such if needed. So we just of course we use the mini moog sound a lot in the bass line and stuff like that. When you do boogie soul funk music, you it's hard to not make use of the moog sound, because it's kind of the classic sound of that time. It's like everybody used it.
Yeah, this sort of
the fat bass sound in there, and So I would say that it's the Moog, the mini Moog.
Yes, yeah, without a doubt.
Moog and mini Moog.
Yeah, without a doubt, you can hear that coming through, and that lovely sort of thumping kind of funky bass line that comes through on so much Cool Million stuff. I mean, it's. Yeah, you're recognisable from your sound, whereas a lot of newer artists, if you like, are not. You know, there is a classic feel to Cool Million. You know, you have that. You've achieved exactly what you were aiming for, in as much as you have that back in the day sound, but that new modern music, and that is the combination that's working for you, I think. And that's personal opinion, but I love it. Yeah.
I'm glad you say that, but that is exactly what we try to, I'm just happy that you and others hear it the same way, because we are using a lot of reference from back in the days, and we don't deny it, but still it sounds like music made today.
I'll go with that, and there's no harm in using their stuff from back in the day, because so many people do it, and you produce such wonderful stuff that gets dropped to our weekenders up and down the country, and we burn holes in the dance floor to it. I love playing it to audiences. I love bringing it to the radio. Cool Million for me, never make a bad track.
Thank you. Too kind. Too kind.
Well, there you go. Well, it's the truth, and the truth is worth saying. So there you go.
Thank you.
Where are you seeing Cool Million, say, in 5 years' time, perhaps? What do you be aiming for then, do you think?
Oh, I have no idea.
You're not planning ahead that far, eh?
Not planning to stop or anything.
Of course,
I think we're going to proceed with make music, the Cool Million sound. I don't know. It's like we've been here for I don't know really how many years. 6 years.
Yeah, 2007.
And and that's happened a lot. What I would like is that we would be able to put a live thing together and go out on the road some more than we do.
That'd be brilliant.
But it's not so easy. It's not because Rob and I is not a musician, and Cool Million isn't really a band. We are more like a producer team.
I get you.
So it's like it's a bit difficult.
I understand, because obviously, to reproduce your music is not so easy on stage, if you know what I mean. Musicians are one thing and so on, but there's a lot of remixing, a lot of touches in there that, maybe not so easy to do. But,
Yeah, and also because we use so many different singers, so it's like you if you go to a Cool Million concert, you can't expect to see both Kenny Thomas, West Coast Soul Stars, and Eugene Wild. And
wouldn't it be awesome if you could?
It's not going to happen. It would be lovely if we could do it, but the price would be sky high.
I'd find it. To have that many people in one room, I'd find the money.
But it would be a cool show, though.
It would be the coolest of cool shows, Frank. Absolutely right. Wow.
But,
can you imagine that lot on the lineup? You wouldn't have enough room on the front wheel, would you?
But it's yeah. But so that's we have some things to look at that way. But yeah, we will see.
That sounds absolutely great. I'm conscious, Frank, of using up loads of your time, but I did have one more thing to ask you, if I could.
Yeah, it's okay.
And that was if you could do me a really cool Frank Ryle Cool Million drop for Sound Fusion Radio. If you could say something now and I'll record it now.
Do you want me to say something now, or do you want me to record something and send it to you?
Well, I don't mind, whichever you feel more comfortable with. But if you want to say something now,
the sound quality would be better if I can do it here in the studio and send it to you.
Okay. Well, I don't mind if you'd like to do that, but obviously I didn't want to put you through any extra effort. So I've got the.
No, we do it all. We do it all the time. So it's. Well, we don't do it all the time, but we do it sometimes. People ask for a drop, but if you want me to say something now, I can say it.
Yes, please, if you would. Just, whatever comes to mind, really. We're Sound Fusion Radio. I'm DJ Gloss, and the rest I'll leave with you.
Hi, everybody. This is Frank Ryle of Cool Million. You are listening to Sound Fusion Radio with DJ Gloss.
Brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant, Frank. Thank you so much for that.
Perfect.
Really good. I assume you have...
What's your real name? What's your real name?
My real name is Ian, and everybody just calls me Glossy. So that's...
Glossy.
Glossy. Yeah, that's what my name's been shortened to. So, I put up...
Okay, you've been a DJ for many years?
Since I was 13 years old, I did my first paid gig. So, quite some time. I'm now,
okay. Yeah.
I'm now considerably older than that. So,
cool.
Yeah,
I will send you that. You have it by Friday latest.
That's absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much.
I have an email to Anna. Is it okay to send it to that one?
Yeah,
or?
she's the station producer, so she's the right person to send it to. So that's lovely.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. Well, Frank, thank you very much. It's been an absolute pleasure interviewing you. It's been lovely to talk to you. And
you're welcome.
Please,
it was a pleasure to talk to you.
Please tell us about anything you're doing, and we'd love to speak to you again sometime. We don't want to take up too much of your time, but if you've got something new,
okay.
Give us a shout, and we'll talk again.
Let's talk again when we have some new music out.
That'll be perfect and great, and we can give it a good push for you, and give it a good play for you. So that's brilliant. That works lovely.
Absolutely perfect.
Okay. Take care and have a lovely evening. You look after yourself.
You too. Bye-bye.
Cheers, Frank. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. And there you go, the fantastic Frank Ryle of Cool Million. What a gentleman that man is. And we had a great chat, as you heard. The special feature show went out. It was a 2-hour feature on Cool Million, went out on Tuesday, but it will be repeated. So keep your ears out here on Sound Fusion Radio for the repeat of the Cool Million special, which was actually 2 hours long and was really, really great to do and great fun.